Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Greetings from Moshi. Oh my god. So today when I came to Moshi, we have the Kilimanjaro Marathon on Sunday. So that's why I'm really here. But then I'm also here because I'm the marketing manager of our company. And we have two properties in Moshi which I have to look at and see how best we can develop them in terms of marketing. Yes. So small background, my name is Lynette and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This channel is all about tourism marketing, how we can develop the industry and grow it further. On my agenda today, I had actually carried out research and I had to talk about tourism product development and tourism products and what are the characteristics of tourism products, how are they developed and everything. When I got to Moshi, I kind of got a change in heart. I was like, no tourism products today. Today is all about, I think I'm going to be ranting in this video. I'm going to be talking about sustainable tourism, global warming and its evident effects. I'm in Moshi and it's so hot. It's almost at the same degree of hotness like Dar es Salaam. You know, in January in Arusha, it's supposed to be a wet season. It's supposed to be, even they are called Arusha rains in January. And the whole of January it was dry. The whole of February it was dry. You know, and then I was reading online all these things happening in the US where they experienced the highest level of coldness and the biggest amount of snow pour, which had not been recorded for years. You know. And I'm like, wow, in I think some states in Canada where it was like crazy minus 15, 16 degrees, there are even YouTube videos which were circulating where someone would pour water from a bottle and before it reached the ground it would be frozen. It would reach the ground like ice. And I don't know, personally I'm all for sustainable tourism development and all that, but I don't know if our authorities, if the people in power, the people with the might are actually seeing these things, or if they are concerned. Our forests are disappearing like crazy. That is something. I was reading an article where they're saying Lake Chad is, I think within 2-3 years it will be nothing. In geography we used to study about it when I was in high school. We studied about Lake Chad and how millions, I think it's the closest lake to the Sahara, the desert, and it has been encroached on by millions of people, and most of its water supply, like the rivers which used to flow into it, have dried up because obviously of the tree cutting and all those things. And you know how the Sahara is coming further down, and they was showing documentary that like in less than 2-3 years that lake will be gone, like it will be history, and I'm like, wow. I read about these things in geography, and look, millions of people, cattle, livestock are depending on this. What are we doing as tourism stakeholders, to promote sustainable tourism development, to reduce on the global warming? Because Moshi, I'm telling you, I'm at the hotel which we manage, Kindoroko Hotel, and we have a backpackers just less than a minute's walk. And I was walking from the hotel to the backpackers, and I am still sweating, like literally. And I'm wondering why Moshi is just next to Mount Kilimanjaro, which is the rooftop of Africa. This place has been known to have the best climate. It has trees, like literally there are trees all over the town, but you can still feel the effect. The snow on Mount Kilimanjaro is depreciating like if you see a picture which was taken like 2 years back, last year, and 6 months back, like the difference is unspeakable. It's scary. You look and you're like, oh my god, what are we doing? These things are happening and we are sitting down and being very comfortable. I don't know if you're being very comfortable, or we're just so busy on our smartphones and on our lives and on accumulating wealth that we do not see this happening. The animals which are getting onto the end. I was reading that the giraffe is now among the endangered species. The giraffe. And I was reading another article and I'm seeing this lady who was posing after shooting a giraffe. I was like, God, help me. Like, who authorizes these things? The giraffe is being called endangered and someone else is posing, being very happy, shooting another one. And we are sitting down and we're seeing these things happening. You know? Less than a month back, they got a truck in Uganda full with ivory. A truck. How many elephants? Because every elephant has two tusks. So if they get a full truck, and I don't even think those people were, I don't think they were given the real penalties which they are due to get. I feel maybe that, and you're looking at all these things and you're like, what is happening? What are we doing as players in the industry? As human beings, as people who love the environment, oh God. The examples are enormous, Every time I post on my Facebook about something new that I've come across, this like there's a bee which is actually called, now it has extinct, animals that are getting extinct, like the numbers of extinct species are increasing literally every week. You'll be scrolling through an article and you're like, oh, now this has extinct, this is history, this we shall just read about it, our children will never see this. No, and it's like we don't see or we don't care. I do not know, but I feel I currently don't have so much power in my hands, but I feel maybe if I talk about it, maybe someone will hear it and maybe share it and then talk about it, and then things might get better. But this is getting scary, Arusha is hot, and it's usually known to be the coldest place around Tanzania, Moshi is supposed to be moderate climates, but see me, I'm sweating like crazy, and yet I'm under AC. It's not working, it's not working, That is something else, The water bodies, forget about the animals getting extinct, the pollution levels, Countries are abolishing polythene bags and plastics and all these things, and I'm wondering, what are we doing? How far is it going to take before we actually achieve or even see the value of the sustainability? We have talked about the green cities, we talked about these lifestyles of cycling and walking, but very few people are implementing them. We have talked about eliminating of all these vehicles which are very toxic to our environment, but still some countries we are still importing them, and our government doesn't really care to restrict the importation of used vehicles, which just come and destroy our air and our environment, and then for cutting down trees. And in Uganda we have the forest authority and everything, NEMA, but Budongo forest has disappeared so fast. When I talk about how fast it has disappeared, even with the forest authority in place, I just wonder, why is this happening? More and more people are starting up factories, which have all these fumes they're injecting into the water bodies. Lake Victoria, we have lost over 20 species of birds because of a particular plantation, which keeps spraying, and the chemicals go into the water, and the fish feed on this, and the fish and the birds feed on the fish. And that's it. And we're seeing, it's not that we don't know what's happening, it's not that we don't see what's happening. We know, we see, we're practically very aware about it, but we are, I don't know, buying new cars, upgrading our gadgets, ignoring the environment, putting on our AC, I feel we can do better as players in the tourism industry, at least personally, because I highly depend on the environment, for most of my tourism products. The wildlife, if the animals are getting extinct, if we are encouraging people to do, sports hunting, yes, it brings in a lot of money, but seriously, how much are you willing to sell yourself for? And for how long? You might sell yourself for $2 million, and then after 2 years you can't sell yourself for nothing because there is nothing to sell yourself for. You're out. Over. I don't know. I just feel, I don't know. Please share with me in the comment section how you have experienced global warming in your particular perspective as an individual, if you have seen it, even if you even believe in it, because a particular president somewhere around the world said global warming is a myth. Yeah, if we have been current with the issues, political issues around the world, we all know who it is. But yeah, and you're like, okay, it's a myth. You know, floods are like floods and drought and all these things, and you're like, what can we do about it? What are we doing about it? Are we planting some trees? Are we, I feel we're being told so much of what we can do, but we've just been told and told, but no one is getting out there and saying, let's do this, let's do this. On Sunday, we're having the Kilimanjaro Marathon, where we're running to raise funds to, ensure sustainability of the people who live around the mountain and the activities happening around the mountain, because we are so scared of our mountain. Moshi, 90% depends on Mount Kilimanjaro because of people who go there to hike. I mean, it's the rooftop of Africa. So if the rooftop of Africa comes down, if it comes down, then what will happen? Let's be cautious, let's be mindful, let's be intentional with our demands, intentional with our ambitions, intentional with our objectives and our activities. Let's know that something that we're doing will either make the world a better place. Let's be long-sighted and not shallow-minded. Most people think of, oh yeah, let me do this and get the money. They don't think about what about tomorrow, about next year, what about 2 years from now. Will it be possible? Will it be sustainable? Will it be achievable? Who gets affected when I do ABCD? Who suffers when I do this? How does the weighing scale go? Is it equal? Is it higher? Is it lower? What's happening? And what can I do to make it better? I mean, yeah, I think I can stop here with the ranting, but share with me in the comment section what you think about sustainable trade and development. Are you seeing any effects of global warming? Because I am seeing numerous of them, and how do we encourage reforestation and control of the exploitation of our environment? How do we ensure sustainability? How do we reduce the effects of global warming? How do we make Moshi, where I am right now, cooler than it is right now? How do we bring back the rains in Arusha? How do we bring snow back to Mount Meru? Because right now, for like the past 20 years, it has been snowless. But before that, it had snow. It was a snow-capped mountain. But now that's history. We talk about it in the past, like, yeah, Mount Meru used to have snow on top. What happened? I think it lost interest in the whole snow thing. Just tell me what you think. Tell me if you're facing any effects of global warming, because I know I am. I talk back to my mom every day at home in Kampala, and she's like, it's hot, Lynette. And I'm like, I'm sorry, mommy, what can I do? It's equally hot this side, so yeah, but thank you very much. Share with me in the comment section, share this video, tell me what you think about sustainable tourism, about global warming and the global sustainable goals, if you know about that, the SDGs. And tell me if you think they're applicable. Tell me if you're even practicing them. Tell me what you're doing, because I know we need more than just me ranting about it. We need action, like yesterday kind of action. Yeah, but thank you, have a lovely evening. Bye. Bye. Thank you. Subscribe. Thank you.